out to Sean McCarthy. He's been a subscriber of mine for a very long time. It was what is it called, where you could pay someone and they do a fucking cameo. I was on there for like 30 seconds and then it just skeeved me out. Yes, I'm the same guy that will take a shirt off for $50. So someone paid Chris Hansen to say on Cameo that stupid shit. Chris Hansen said it, and now the trolls are gonna run with that Chris Hansen is investigating Wings. He's not fucking investigating Wings. He's not investigating him. That was a cameo. Why are you doing cameos, Chris? You're gonna get caught up in that. Dude, if I was this, I'm sure he has an agent or something, I would be like, yo, no, bro. No. What are you doing? Reevaluate how you're getting income. This is why I'm afraid to do fucking Cameo, because I'm afraid that people will take my shit. Let me just use this. I'll use the world famous Chris Chan thumbnail. Actually, let me get this one. It's brighter. No. Let me not get that one because it's not widescreen. Here we go. Fly like a bird. Hold on 1 second. You want 3 DSP snorts, by the way. I'm sorry. Oh, that was fairly fast. They were longer. Alright, so... Chris Chan, where are you at? Here we go. Holy shit, KH, I'm looking at your... Yeah, dude, he's been... And the thing about Chris Chan is that... Chris Chan has been a part of internet history for a very long time.
About my house off the
Oh, I remember this.
internet!
This is Christian Weston Chandler,
Yeah, there was a time that Spoonie was pretty decent.
previously known as Christopher before an animatronic bear said his name wrong, which led him to have it changed. Soon to be known as Christine when she transitioned to be a woman, but online trolls call them Chris Chan. He's demanding a video showing his hoarding situation be taken off the internet so that his elderly parents won't have their house condemned by the government. Who would report him? Well, that would be a dedicated group of internet users who have cataloged
Trolls.
this man's life for the past 15 years, making him one of the most well-documented people in human history, with his wiki containing thousands of pages. This includes a Nickelodeon cartoon character stealing his girlfriend, a doppelganger trying to steal his identity, him being catfished by a dozen different women, the destruction of his PlayStation 3 for a fake bounty, money stolen from his bank account,
What?
his house catching on fire, the macing of a GameStop employee.
Oh my god, I remember that. Android missed your super chat, did I? Are we gonna wear the chicken suit? That's almost a guarantee, but the two switches, I already have them here. They're brand new, 2-switch OLEDs.
Running over a store owner with his car, getting tricked by the creator of the Super Mario Bros., and having his character Sonic Chew stolen by a British sports commentator. Sonic Chew is a hybrid of Sonic and Pikachu that Chris created an entire comic series for. This character is also his real-life alter ego that he believes will one day bring about an interdimensional merge that will reveal him to be the reincarnation of Jesus.
Well, that's a thing.
But I think I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's go back to the beginning.
I introduced you to Chris Chan. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, dude, and that's nothing, unfortunately. The Major League Ginger. That's nothing. It'll get worse. It'll absolutely get worse.
So for years now, people have been asking me to do a video talking about Chris Chan, and the problem is I just never knew where to begin on the subject. So for the
Yeah, dude, that ain't shit. I'm telling you.
Past month now, I've been trying to get in touch with Chris Chan in any way I could. But after all that failed, I messaged...
Yeah, the Series S, for some reason, they're able to pump out, and it's selling well, too. Which is, you know, it's not that he, you know, if I can talk today, it's not that it's not in demand. I guess wherever they're manufacturing could pump them out.
Poppets. He responded right away and asked me if I wanted to do an interview with Chris Chan, and the answer to that was absolutely...
Wait, is that his room?
Yes. So within a few days, I get a cameraman, and I am heading down a couple hours, making a road trip out of it, to meet the notorious Chris Chan in person. And this is the street.
Holy crap. He like went to his house and shit. You mean 1S or Series S? Two totally different consoles.
Is that it?
I mean, that looks...
Sonic Chew. Look.
Sonic.
Zoom in on the license plate.
Hold on.
Wait, Chris Chan drives? This was made before and filmed before.
Let's see if I can get that.
No.
Hello. Hi. Hey. How are you?
Art, is that right? How's it going, Christian? Nice to meet you.
I'm Jesse.
It's an honor to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Christine, hello. I'm Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse.
Nice to meet you.
The rumor I've heard is that Chris Chan is probably partially the reason why subconsciously I don't identify Chris Chan female, is I've heard this now, and I don't know if it's true or not, that Chris Chan transitioned just because they thought that they were going to be able to get laid easier. Mario Paul, whose super chat did I miss? Who did I miss here? Oh, you sent me source stuff. Keep it classy. Okay. I got your text today. I'll hit you up, dude. I've just been... Had to record for Ghostwire Tokyo. Had to get that up. Had to play more. Like, I just got the code. What is today? The 20th? I just got the code on the 18th. I didn't realize it until then. I'm like, holy crap, I need to play. I'm not technically the reviewer, but I need to play enough to know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's all I can say. That's what I'm saying, and that's why even like the transgender community, from what I've heard, and it could be a crock of shit because there is a bunch of Chris Chan haters, that was the reason that Chris Chan transitioned, because they thought it would get them actual vagina. Because he's been wanting a real life girl. And if you remember too, Chris was homophobic as fuck. Remember that? Like, Chris Chan would have made fucking Quantum TV blush. Actually, wait. No, I don't think, as far as I know, I don't think Chris Chan ever wished death on the LGBTQ community. Maybe. Or maybe he did. I don't know. He used to say some really harsh things. Yeah, he bought Bluntmore. He bought a hooker. He admitted to it on camera. Like, this is before he transitioned.
Suppose we can go inside.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah?
in.
Okay.
We're gonna do the interview downstairs.
Okay. Oh.
Downstairs.
I can't tell you that right now, dude. You gotta wait until the NDA, which I believe is 9 a.m. EDT. I can't say anything. I could just say that I reviewed it. I am bound by, you know, and I'm gonna respect Bethesda. You know. Well, you know what I mean. Friend, trusted. I don't know. Unfortunately, I've seen Chris Chan, before they became a woman, have sex with his blow-up doll. It is something I wish I never saw.
Quiet down! Quiet down! Quiet!
Now, is this Chris? I'm asking questions like you guys know.
Everybody's inside.
That's not, I mean, it's messy as fuck, but that's not what I expected worse.
All right. Well,
Probably because he knew, of course, they were coming.
this is very nice.
I know that Mark felt awkward as fuck. Come on.
Nice.
The room where it was
This is
The dimensional merge is happening now. Dimensional merge. Oh. Christine, Weston, Chandler, Sonichu.
this is where it all
Sonic. Those dogs are screaming. They calm down after a little bit.
Is that thing on right now?
yeah, is that okay?
Oh, hello. Hello up there, YouTube, internet, all that. Hello. Hello. Hope you all having a good day. There's your intro, kinda.
Alright. Yeah, good enough.
Prior to his birth, Chris's parents' relationship gave many reasons for concern. Bob and Barbara Chandler were aged 54 and 40 respectively. At this later time in a couple's life, most are dissuaded by medical professionals from having children. This is for a variety of reasons, as many studies have shown that such an age difference would leave a...
This is where it all
Sonic. Those dogs are screaming blatantly. They calm down after a little bit.
Is that thing on right now?
yeah, is that okay?
Oh, hello. Hello up there, YouTube, internet, all that. Hello.
Dude, term limits all day. Presidency to anyone who's... There should be 2-year term limits for everybody. Period. End of discussion.
Hello. Hope you all having a good day. There's your intro, kinda.
Alright. Yeah, good enough.
Even prior to his birth,
Why are you concerned? Dude, dogs howl like that all the time. My Chihuahua, you would think he was getting murdered when a new diaper was being put on him. It doesn't always mean a dog is actually in distress.
Chris's parents' relationship gave many reasons for concern. Bob and Barbara Chandler were aged 54 and 40 respectively. At this later time...
Damn, Dad was 54 when you had him?
Time in a couple's
I didn't realize he was that old.
life, most are dissuaded by medical professionals from having children. This is for
Yeah, hounds always sound like they're getting hurt.
a variety
And they're fine.
of reasons, as many studies have shown, as such an age difference would leave a large generational gap between parent and child. In some cases, this can put the child at risk of growing up socially stunted, as from a biological standpoint, they also have a larger chance of facing health complications at birth.
Like
More
autism.
specific to the Chandlers as individuals, however, was the hastiness of their relationship. Prior to Chris's birth, the two had been married for only 2 years. They'd wed quickly in a bid to escape their previous marriages. Consequently, they held strained relationships with their previous families, with Barbara's in particular being intense. Additionally, they were both alcoholics, having even first met each other in a bar. Of course,
PSP at rival. Oh, beagles always sound like they're getting murdered. I know people who own beagles, yeah.
that's not to say that their family unity was doomed from the start. In spite of these imperfections, it was far from unsalvageable. But these details are important in establishing that from their newborn's conception, it was an uphill battle. Such a dynamic requires a consistent and active effort to maintain.
Well, that's a good sign. Ema, how you liking the consoles?
Normalcy, one that the Chandlers may have not been ready to face. Christopher Weston Chandler was born in Charlottesville, Virginia on February 24th, 1982. In those first few months of life, Chris was an average toddler. His first word, according to his mother, was monkey, a rather cute mispronunciation of mommy. However, it wasn't long before problems would arise. To start, in spite of having a newborn child, they continued their nightly routine of going out drinking. To babysit Chris, as well as his half-brother Cole, who lived with them at the time, they appointed Rochelle, a woman who lived in the same neighborhood as the family. Chris's sibling later recalled that it was apparent to him, even as a youngster, that she was unfit to be caring for children. As the story goes, one night in August of 1983, Rochelle became irritated with Christopher after he interrupted her phone call. She opted to punish the toddler by locking him in a room by himself for the rest of the night. Christopher, who was
What the fuck?
just 1.5 years old at the time,
I knew it had to be more than autism. I knew it. There's no way.
was traumatized to the point that when he was rescued, he refused to speak entirely. In fact, he regressed to the point of only communicating through screaming and crying for the next 6 years. To compensate for this newfound
No, I didn't know that Blippi is a Netflix show. It makes sense, though. I knew he was gonna, get over the whole drama that happened, man. Shit, no pun intended with Blippi. Shit happened.
his parents began taking him to attend speech therapy classes.
No, what's going on in the Ukraine?
Which is where he was first diagnosed as being autistic, with the doctor predicting that he would likely never write his own name, let alone make it to high school. In a strange twist of events, Bob and Barbara would continue leaving Christopher with the delinquent babysitter for the next few years, likely so they could continue their tradition of late-night benders. This led his stepbrother, Cole, to attribute Chris's early muteness as largely being
No, on Netflix. He's not just on YouTube or wherever.
the fault of their neglect, a trend that was only worse with time. Though the assertion that neglect was the source of his autism is faceless, the babysitter's supposed actions undeniably exacerbated Chris's condition. And in spite of its immediate consequences, they failed to take many basic preventative measures. In 1985, a new family moved into the Chandler's neighborhood. With a child of their own, the families quickly became cordial with each other. This naturally led to Christopher becoming playmates with the couple's daughter, Sarah Hammer. Chris has a fond view of the years he spent with Sarah, reflecting upon them by proclaiming her to be a lifelong best friend. Unfortunately, the young girl would often pull mean-spirited pranks on the autistic child. An example of this was
Yeah, they're definitely ample upgrades. They're adequate upgrades. Whereas the PS4 and Xbox One shit at the time, in my opinion. Still looking up PS4 Pro and Xbox.
when she once convinced Chris that the cartoon character, Casper the Friendly Ghost, lived in the crawl space under her home. Once the young boy had crawled under the residence to look for himself, she proceeded to lock him in, trapping Chris until her father came to the rescue. While one could argue that events such as these implicate her as a foe, Chris insists far more positive than negative experiences. He dismissed them as just childish pranks, overshadowed by his cherished memories of them playing. According to Chris himself, it was her that brought him out of his autistic social shell for the time. At home, Christopher's life was surrounded by music and pop culture. Unable to speak, he spent much of his time consuming children's entertainment such as Sesame Street, Care Bears, and Transformers. Bob even purchased a Commodore 64 home computer,
Ah, there you go. That's where he's writing Commodore Basic Mode.
sparking Chris's lifelong interest in technology and video games. His father was proud of Chris for being able to operate the personal computer before he could even speak, programming his own games on the console by age 6. Accompanying the Chandlers was their pet dog Patty, who Chris had picked out himself from his Aunt Karina's litter. At this point, his home life wasn't perfect, but it was comfortable. Unfortunately, things would only get worse when he began to attend school. The year was 1987, when he was dropped at the front door of Greene County Primary School. With Chris's struggles to communicate, this marked the beginning of many obstacles he'd have to overcome in his academic career. In spite of this, Bob was optimistic. In order to inspire his son, he penned a heartfelt letter detailing his expectations.
The reason for this open letter to you, which will grow as time goes on, is that I know now that I, at best, haven't much time left to share myself with you, particularly to share my things, my dreams, and my thoughts with you at a time in the future when you will be able to understand. Remember to use my
Yes, you're 100% right, Jeffer. You're 100% right.
things and carry on my dreams if you want to.
A distinct characteristic of the letter is that it's written informally. It's meant to be read as if he and Chris were speaking face to face. A clearly intimate discussion. Bob goes on to explain personal matters such as his previous marriages and what he sought to avoid when raising Chris.
I didn't plan my life. I just took it as it came along. I seem to have had no control over it. It always came along with what was right for me. Look at me 8 years ago in